When I am exchanging words with my wife, I'm not exchanging words with her to cause her pain. So I'm exchanging words with her because she annoyed me, or because she misunderstood me, or because we misunderstand ourselves at the point. What I am trying to do is to get her to at least understand me. That's why we exchange words. And she also understands that. Sometimes I see people exchange words and the intention is to get the other person pain. In that annoyance, you say things that can never be forgotten.
When you are exchanging words, you are angry now.
Yes, I'm angry.
When you are angry, do you think that the things you are doing under the influence of anger is controlled?
When I'm exchanging words with somebody, even in that exchange, I'm still very careful not to insult the person, no matter how high my voice is. There are people that the moment they begin to, exchange words with people out of anger, the next thing are curse words, idiot, and all those kind of words. No, I am very careful not to do that. I stay on the issue. Then there are things people may call insult, but they're not insult. Like if what you did borders on stupidity. I don't know why you are laughing. When I and my wife are having these altercations sometimes, exchanging words, the intention is not to win the argument. For me, our intention is to be understood.
So you can literally exchange words with your wife and she understands?
Yes. There were times she didn't really understand me so much, but we had to work on it, because before we got married, I told her, see, that one thing we must always do in this relationship, in this marriage, is to talk about everything. I barely go to bed quarreling with my wife, except once. I tell to be coupled, there is nothing beyond conversation. And I always say this one, there's no secrets in marriage. My wife has access to my phone. My wife has access to my accounts.
Really?
Yes.
So he knows your words.
Her fingerprint opens my account. Her fingerprint opens my phone.
You trust her that much?
Why should I live with someone I don't trust? If there is no trust, I wouldn't be there. I can't stay in such a toxic environment. I cannot. It is toxic if we are playing mind games. Before you get committed to anybody, know them to an extent. Do they really love you? Or are you just a tool to escape from poverty? Many men today are tools with which women escaped poverty, and vice versa, because I know people that all they want to do is to escape poverty by marrying ladies from rich families. I know them.
Welcome back to another episode of the Let's Talk Experience Show. And on our podcast today, we have Dr. Williams. Thank you so much. It's such an honor having you on our podcast show today.
You're welcome.
The first time we had a podcast conversation was online, if you can
Yes,
remember.
I remember that.
Back in those years, and
Yes.
it was really a tough one.
Yes.
Right? And it's good having you right here physically on the Let's Talk Experience podcast, right? And on this episode, we would want to learn from your life experience regarding, I know, coming around you, there is a whole lot to learn. You get?
Okay.
But you see, and our podcast is not enough to tap from your well of knowledge. And that's why we need to narrow our scope today. Let it revolve around relationship and, marriage. I believe that your experience and your insight, perspective as well, will really aid a whole lot of people out there, right? So, but before we continue, I would like to ask you, for how long have you been married now?
I've been married for 2 years now.
2 years?
Yes.
Is that 2 years? I was even thinking it's up to 4.
No, it's 2 years. That was
Really?
2023, yes.
2023?
Yes.
Because we went together now.
Yes, yes.
Wow, I was even thinking it's up to 3 or 4.
No, it's 2 years.
And how was it been?
it has been fine. By God's grace, I entered marriage with what I may call the right mindset.
Okay.
I didn't have the wrong expectations. I knew what I was getting into by God's grace. So,
what do you call wrong mindset in marriage?
Some people think that marriage is all bliss.
Okay.
It's all peaceful. A happy ever after. When you read some novels, you will hear them say, and they got married and they went home and lived happily ever after. You understand? So I didn't enter into marriage with a happily ever after mindset.
But that should be the ideal stuff about marriage now.
Even the Bible said that we are still striving towards perfection.
Yeah.
So if perfection starts in the beginning, then I don't think that thing is still within the ambit of the earth realm.
Do you need a perfect person to make a good marriage?
No, because even you yourself, you are not perfect.
that's what I'm saying. So if I don't need a perfect person to make a good marriage, it means that even in our imperfections, marriage can still be good.
Yes.
So it's possible to have a happy ever after.
Yes. No. It's not possible.
Why is it not possible?
It's not because we are dealing with human beings.
Okay.
Who have weaknesses. And no matter how long you date a person, you can never discover all their weaknesses.
Really?
Yes. Because there is still that holding back. There's still that holding back while you are dating. You don't get to know everything about the person while you are dating, because the person is still trying to study you and be sure your intentions are pure.
Okay.
You understand? So everything about the person wouldn't be on the table. Only the most important, actually, that will lead to that agreement to marry will be on the table. But you discover and rediscover who you are married to every day of the marriage.
I think that's where the problem is. Trying to find out weaknesses and faults is the reason why many marriages are not really working out. But let me ask you, from your experience now, do you think that marriage is about personality or about love?
It's about both. That is why, yes, that is why you must check for compatibility too in marriage. Two people can love themselves, but may not be compatible enough to get married. How? You must be compatible health-wise.
Really?
Yes, you must be compatible health-wise. SS should never go to marry AS. AS should never go to marry AS.
But we have seen cases now.
Cases of what?
SS marrying SS and everything still went fine. This SS and stuff like that, started becoming so much rampant in our time, right? Back in those days, you understand, if you read about history, all this SS something wasn't really in existence.
And that was why they had this superstitious story of Obanje.
I don't understand. So how did Obanje come into?
It is scientifically and medically proven that when AS and AS or AS and SS get married, they will produce sickle cell children that will die early.
Okay.
And then they'll give birth again. The child dies again. And then they had a name for it, Obanje.
Okay.
Or in Yoruba, Abiku. And then because the devil feeds on the ignorance of human beings, he keyed into it and made it a belief that appeared realistic, such that a lot of people think that this thing is true. Because the devil sees it, he leeches and feeds on human ignorance.
Wow.
And because he that being has some element of powers beyond the earth realm, he can make these things appear real. So scientifically, no matter how you try to paint it, don't go into anything and then at the end you are just expecting miracle, something you can avoid.
Now let me digress a little bit. What if I don't know your belief about this, but let me say, what if God says, I'm trying to be spiritual now. God says this is going to be your wife, right?
Okay.
And then when we check the health compatibility, it's maybe SSSS. In that case, should you go on with that marriage, or what are you going to do in that case now?
In that case, we have to be sure who you heard first.
So God cannot still marry.
No, God can do anything.
Yeah.
But God is also not an author of confusion, and God is not against science too.
Wow.
Yes, God is not against, because everything that science is discovering, we already put in nature by God Himself. So God is not against science. Just like some people try to create this dichotomy and then create this contention between science and God. They are not fighting themselves. So we have to be sure whom you heard first, to know if it is God that knows that you are maybe AS and still told you to go and marry AS.
Okay.
We have to be sure. And at that level, I believe, it is not doctrine, that God does not orchestrate such confusion. But if actually it is God you heard, then I will leave it at this place, that there may be something he wants to achieve.
Yeah.
But I have not seen God in that light before. Something that can be avoided, something that can cause pain, and then he sends you into it. Even though, let me put it this way so that people will not misunderstand what I'm saying. It's not as if in this walk we will not have persecution.
Yeah.
But our persecution and tribulations are not a product of our mistakes. Yes.
Yeah.
Our persecution and our tribulation shouldn't be a product of avoidable mistakes. So that is why I said I've not seen God in that light.
Now, this brings me to something. Sorry, this is totally off from what we are talking about. This has really been my thoughts for over a very long time now. And thank God you went to this angle. We'll come back to what we are talking about.
Okay.
But I would like to ask this, right? Is it possible that God will punish somebody? Or, no, not punish. Is it possible that God can train people with pain, like with punishment or like suffering? For example, somebody will come up and say that God is training him, and that person is saying that because he's broke, he's poor, and then he's saying God is, this is like process for him, and then God is training him using those pain and those sufferings and those poverty, lack, and all those things. Do you think?
Yes, I think such a thing can happen.
Okay.
But we also have to be careful about it to know when we are suffering out of our mistakes, and then we are suffering out of demonic attacks. Because let me come from this angle. When God is putting you through process, he's teaching you discipline. Okay. So just like Paul, you can know how to manage plenty and how to manage little. But that situation where someone perpetually is living for a very long time, is living in poverty, is living in want, is not effective in what he's doing, and then they call it process. I do not believe in such process. I do not believe in it. I am not trying to discountenance those that believe in it, but that is not the kind of process I saw in the Bible.
Okay.
Because even Paul, who knew how to abound and to abase, wasn't a man living in penury.
Yeah.
He wasn't a person living in penury. It was just that he knew how to keep himself within the bounds of what he needed and not affluence. So I think God teaches us discipline. Even though sometimes this discipline may be painful, because discipline itself is painful, but I do not equate discipline with suffering.
Yeah.
When it moves from discipline to suffering, then there are two things I check. Am I applying the correct principles? Am I living my life the way I should live my life? Walking the way I should walk? Having the right relationships? Do I have knowledge enough to thrive in this place? Then is there anything demonic going on here?
Connected to it.
Yes.
That should really be like a discussion for a separate discussion.
Yes, because I see people come and they say that God is taking them through dealings. But when you the first thing I discover about such people when I interrogate them is that they are ignorant.
Yeah.
They are ignorant. Currently, what is going on in the world right now, you see that people are gaining knowledge on farming. People are gaining knowledge on cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. People are gaining knowledge in AI. Then I've heard some people say that they don't like AI, that is Antichrist. and so when that person is not being effective, when that person is living in poverty and in penury, he or she claims that God is taking him or her through process. Personally, I know how to edit videos. I know a lot about AI prompt engineering. I know a lot about cryptocurrency.
Wow.
So many a time when there is a period of let me say downtime in my finances, I check myself. What am I doing wrong? Before I begin to attribute it to dealings of God, what am I doing wrong? Are there places I am supposed to have knowledge I don't have knowledge yet? And are there places I'm supposed to give? Because giving is a part of it. Not really to give in as a transaction with God, but giving because out of the abundance of what we have been given, we should give. So are there places I'm supposed to give, people I'm supposed to help I have not helped yet? And then if all these questions are answered, then I may now begin to ask, is the hand of darkness in this? It is after going through all these putting myself through all these tests that I may now say, okay, let me go back to God and see if there is an instruction for this season to pass through this process.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, that this should actually be like a separate discussion on its own, but I needed to bring it in because of what you said.
I said, yes,
so that you can clear the air on
yes
that. Now let's now journey back to what brought us here.
Yes.
We are talking about whether marriage should be more of personality something or love.
Yes.
And your conclusion was that
it is both. Yes.
So if we are saying that it is both, right?
Yes.
It means that there are places where personality should show up, and there are places where love should show up.
Yes.
Now, if we have love and personality, why are we now still saying that marriage is not a bed of roses?
Yes, because like I said before, marriage is a human institution, and nothing run by or operated by human beings is perfect. So there must be those times when you both do not understand yourselves. And this is something I have seen all my life. Growing up, there are times I will not understand my parents. What they're saying doesn't make sense to me. To them, it makes sense. It is the best thing to do at that point. But it doesn't make sense to me. And then there is this friction. So I cannot grow up now and expect that meeting other human beings, that it will be a perfect relationship, a perfect interaction. There must be those days of friction. There must be those days of misunderstanding. There must be those days when someone is angry without even knowing what's making them angry. But they are angry, and then you are the person they can vent the annoyance on. So
for these 2 years of marriage now, have you ever at some point tried to raise your hand on your wife?
No, I've never tried that.
But you have been angry with her?
Yes.
You shouted at her?
There are days. There are days. It's like hell. Like
really?
What they call we exchange words.
Really?
Yes, we exchange words, and then But what happens is that at the end of those exchange, we don't keep malice.
Wow.
Yes.
Really?
And that is where a lot of people get it wrong. When I am exchanging words with my wife, I'm not exchanging words with her to cause her pain. Yes, I'm exchanging words with her because she annoyed me, or because she misunderstood me, or because we misunderstand ourselves at the point. So what I am trying to do is to get her to at least understand me, or try to make sense of what I'm trying to say. You understand? So that's why we exchange words, and she also understands that when she's talking back, she's not really trying to get you pained or get back at you. She's also trying to get understood. But I appreciate the fact that she stays on the issue, and the intention is not to cause you pain. The intention is to get you to understand that you are making a mistake. But sometimes I see people exchange words, and the intention is to get the other person pained. And then at the end, in that annoyance, you say things that can never be forgotten.
Yeah. So when you are exchanging those words, is it like you are intentional of what you are saying?
Yes.
Or you are, when you are exchanging words, you are angry now.
Yes, I'm angry, yes.
So when you are angry, do you think that the things you are doing under the influence of anger is controlled?
Not completely controlled, but you have to train yourself. This is why I say this. Just like when I'm exchanging words with somebody, even in that exchange, I'm still very careful not to insult the person, no matter how high my voice is. No matter how high my voice is, I am always very careful not to insult the person I am talking to, not to use curse words on the person I am talking to. There are people that the moment they begin to, exchange words with people out of anger, the next thing are curse words, idiot, and all those kind of words. No, I am very careful not to do that. I stay on the issues. Then there are things people may call insult, but they're not insult. Like if what you did borders on stupidity. I don't know why you're laughing.
I remember, forgive me, but I remember one of the comments you made on one of those videos. I didn't know whether you are the person that released that video, right?
Okay.
And then you made that the person commented, and then the person was trying to counter what you were saying.
Yeah. Okay.
And your response was that, bro, you are stupid. so don't worry, continue what you're saying.
If what you did borders on stupidity, I will tell you that what you just did looks stupid.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
Okay, not that the person is stupid.
No.
Okay.
That what you're doing looks stupid. It doesn't make sense. I will state the fact as it is.
Wow.
So statement of fact is not insult, like some people think. When Jesus said, "Go and tell that fox," referring to Herod, was he being insultive? No, he was stating the obvious.
Wow.
Yes.
So if I look at someone now and say, "Are you foolish?" or "You are foolish," I'm not insulting the person.
Yes, because of how sensitive people are now.
Yeah.
Asking someone, "Are you foolish?" is not an insult. Let's be very, very honest. Then if someone acts foolishly and you tell them that they're foolish, you're not lying. But because of how sensitive people are, you can say what you are doing looks foolish to me. You can just water it down to massage their ego and all that. But that's not an insult, because we are stating the obvious. It is clear. Which other word can I use for foolishness?
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? Which other word can I use to convey the act of foolishness? Just like when I see someone that doesn't believe in God and I say that they are foolish, I'm not insulting them. The Bible said that it is the fool that has thought in his heart that there is no God. So which other name will I call him?
Yeah.
No, which other name will I call someone that doesn't believe in God? The Bible said the person is a fool. And if I say that I'm not insulting the person, I'm stating the obvious. This person is a fool. So I always advise people to stay on the issues and not just speak to cause pain. Speak to prove a point.
Yeah.
You understand? Prove to win, that is, speak to win the argument. When I and my wife are having these altercations sometimes, exchanging words, the intention is not to win the argument for me. And I've also discovered it's not the same. It's the same for her. Her intention is not to win the argument. Our intention is to be understood.
Wow. So you can literally exchange words with your wife and she understands.
Yes. Yes. Because how else?
Right from time.
Right from time. Yes. There were times she didn't really understand me so much, but we had to work on it, because before we got married, I told her, see, that one thing we must always do in this relationship, in this marriage, is to talk about everything.
Wow.
Yes, is to talk about everything. Whether I understand you at some point or not, we must still talk about those things until we either understand ourselves or we accept to live with whatever it is until we understand ourselves on the matter. So, and it has worked, because I barely go to bed quarreling with my wife, except once that it happened. It happened, and then she was actually the one that came to tell me, I thought you said we should never go to bed, quarreling. And that was actually my word. So I knew I had gone back on my word, and I couldn't continue that break of covenant. So we had to. So I tell to be couples, there is nothing beyond conversation.
Yeah, it's true.
Nothing. And I always say this one: there's no secrecy in marriage. Yes, there's no secrecy in marriage.
But the
because
secrecy has limits.
no, there's no secrecy in marriage, except the only exception are things that should be between you and God.
There is secret now.
No,
in
no,
that case.
No. Except things that and I will explain such things so that people will not misconstrue what I am saying. I do not think, even though it was not recorded in the Bible, that Abraham told Sarah that he was going to sacrifice Isaac.
Okay.
This kind of thing, and then there are things that people tell me as a pastor.
Okay. Yeah.
I shouldn't go and discuss them with my wife.
Okay.
You understand?
But every issue pertaining you personally now.
Yes, she knows all of them.
Does it boil down to your account details?
My wife has access to my phone. My wife has access to my account.
Really?
Yes.
So he knows your words.
Her fingerprint opens my account. Her fingerprint opens my phone.
You trust her that much?
Why should I live with someone I don't trust?
Wow.
Why should I be? You see, these are the problems. I can't live with someone I cannot trust.
Wow.
If I can't, and it is vice versa.
Yeah.
I have access to her account too. She can just leave her ATM at home and say, "Oh, pick my ATM, go and do this transaction," and it is vice versa. So,
money is not scatter for this Gen Z generation.
Yes. So if there is no trust, I wouldn't be there. I can't stay in such a toxic environment. I cannot. It is toxic. If we are playing mind games.
Wow.
We are playing mind games. Okay, and then the woman may be thinking that my man may not really do this thing for my family. Let me do it for my family myself. Then the man is saying, I don't trust this woman. Let me do this thing for my family without her knowledge. I don't get that. I see that in some marriages, older people's marriages, but I don't expect to see that in mine. So help me God, because I just pray to God that the way we started, it will always get better, because by God's grace we started on a good note.
Wow. Like, I'm shocked hearing this, because part of what they preach to us today is that there are certain things, most especially when it comes to these financial aspects, that the woman shouldn't know your words, no matter what. Right? No, seriously. And then some others are now of the opinion that some ladies, their mindset will be like, my money is my money, your money is our money, and all sorts of so even hearing that, as you are now, you get your wife knows your words, have access to your account, is doing me somehow.
Actually, it makes my life easy.
Wow.
So that when I say that there's no money in the house, she knows it is true.
But did you train her to be able to commit this, or she aligned?
She actually aligned, because I think women usually respond to, they make the best out of whatever they're given.
Wow.
You understand? That's the way I see women. They usually make the best out of whatever they are given. Just like when you give a woman money, a wise woman money though, and says, keep this money, don't touch it. No matter what's happening, she won't touch it. Yes, she won't touch it. And then when I have also discovered that when you come home and you carry your money and gives a woman to manage and say, take this money, it is for housekeeping, I won't bring another money. You find out that money will last.
Wow.
Yes.
And you are speaking from experience now.
Yes.
Child.
You find out that money will last. So I see that they make the best out of what they are given. So if a woman sees that you are trustworthy, she doesn't have many a time, even though there are exceptions, because not all people are good. You understand? So but in most cases, if you see that you are trustworthy, she will trust you, and she will respond in like manner.
Now, what if she's a woman that spends so much? Will you commit your details to her?
No, yes, I will still commit my details to her. Yes, because that is the right thing to do. I will still commit my details to her, because there is nothing else I should do as a person married to her. If her, frivolous spending was a problem to me, I should have seen that before we got married. And then I should have decided if this is the kind of woman I want to live with, or if she is teachable enough to actually learn and drop her old ways before we go into that institution called marriage. You understand? Yeah. So, but now coming into marriage, and then you are now trying to put some measures. There are measures that are too late to be put in a marriage system. You just have to live with it, or pray to God and intentionally try to train the person. You see, what's a problem for you before getting married should not be overlooked for whatever reason. If the woman is a spender and you cannot live with it, please do not proceed, or wait until you are sure that she, being teachable, has been able to at least manage that aspect of her life. To align with your own pattern of life and destiny. If not, I don't see that working, because you will keep coming back to us for counseling.
Now, I'm going to ask you this crazy question. Were you attracted to your wife sexually before marriage?
Yes.
Really?
There must be physical attraction.
I mean, sexually?
Yes, it sexually is physical.
Okay.
Not in a lustful, kind of arrangement.
But is lust wrong for someone you love?
How do I put this? I think it's wrong, because lust comes from a place of self-gratification. Okay. Objectifying the person for self-gratification. But looking at a woman you want to marry and she's pleasant to your eyes, it's not bad. Personally, you should be able to marry someone that when you look at her, you are proud that this is my wife. You understand? So I don't know for other people, so that I'll not be speaking for every other person, because marriage doesn't have a particular formula, but there are standards too.
Okay.
Yes, there are standards. But from my own end, I was physically attracted to my wife.
So how do you control the pressure when you speak with her at night during those times?
Okay. The thing is that she visits in the day.
Okay.
And then at night, there was that pressure. Was that pressure? Yes, the pressure is there, but we just have to understand that we are Christians.
Okay.
But you can't claim that the pressure is not there. But that's why you should do all it takes to either get married,
okay,
or free one another, so that you do not fall into sin.
Okay.
You understand?
So your discussions those times, is there a limit to it? Or you talk about literally everything?
Yes, we talk about literally everything,
including the sexual aspect.
The sexual aspect. Did we discuss sexual things? Okay. Yes, I think we discussed how many children we would potentially have, okay, when we get married.
Okay.
You understand? And then I also try to know her perception about sex itself.
Okay.
Yes, because these are part of the conversations we had.
And you think is necessary as well?
Yes, I have to understand what she thinks, the way she views sex. Not really because I want to, experiment or something, but so that you'll be armed with the mindset. But this was actually when we knew,
okay,
we were getting married.
Okay.
It wasn't part of our preliminary conversations. Our earlier conversations were based on getting to know our worldview on politics,
okay,
on marriage itself, on how to train children, then how intellectual she is and I am, on our health status. I had to know her genotype, her blood group, and she had to know mine. And then, I had to also observe, not just by conversation now, but observation, how she manages resources, how kind she is to the people around her. because these were very important to me. People come around me a lot, so she should be able to accommodate those that come around me. So there were things we got to know by conversation, and there were things I got to know by observation. Yes.
Wow.
But it was when we were now sure that we are getting married. Like I had started visiting her parents, and we were already in talks.
Okay.
That I now said, okay, let me know this lady's perception on sex. You know, we had that conversation.
So what do you think on sexual fantasies for believers?
Do I have a sexual fantasy? I do not think it is healthy.
Really?
Yes, I do not think it is healthy, because you might be expecting too much. And I think sexual fantasies come from the consumption of pornography.
Really? No, there are people that they are not victims of pornography, bro.
And they have sexual fantasies.
Yes.
Where did they see the picture?
You know, but the thing there is that even those that bettered it, they bettered it from somewhere.
Yes, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But sexual fantasies, where did you first see the picture of what you are fantasizing about?
Those that acted it, those that you saw their pictures,
Is that what I'm saying?
who inspired them?
Yes, that's what I'm saying now. A lot of sexual fantasies come from the consumption
Okay.
of pornography.
Okay.
And you shouldn't go into marriage expecting what someone acted from your wife. Pornography, before they take drugs, they do a lot of things to you know, those things you are seeing you are cut and join.
Yes, yes.
So that's why I do not believe, and I do not think sexual fantasies are healthy. What I believe about sex is that you and your wife should discover yourselves and know what works for both of you. But fantasy, I do not subscribe to fantasies. I do not subscribe to them. So long as both of you are able to discover yourselves and you are satisfied with one another, I don't see any need for fantasies.
So do you think it's not necessary we talk about it as believers? Like, you think it's not necessary they teach it to couples?
Sexual fantasies? No, I don't
You
think.
know, many marriages, I
Yes.
don't know, I'm not married.
Yes.
So, but I found out that many marriages, that aspect, they are
Yes.
having issues with it.
Let me tell you what happens.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what happens. The thing is this: sex is a problem in a good number of marriages. But why is it a problem? It's a problem because a good number of people have consumed pornography before they got married. So they go into marriage expecting these things from either the man or the woman.
Okay.
And then number two is that a good number of people have also slept around.
It's true.
You understand?
Very true, yeah.
And then what he or she got from multiple partners, he or she is now expecting from one person.
It's true. It's true.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sex now becomes a big issue. You see, you hear people say that my wife or my husband doesn't satisfy me. So, but what is the benchmark for satisfaction? Is the benchmark for satisfaction what you saw in pornography, or is it what you got by sleeping around? Then the third problem is that sometimes, which is even the least of the problem, if we look around, is that some people actually do not want to work to, get their partners sexually satisfied. But this is the least out of these three that I have mentioned.
Okay.
This is actually the least, because at the end, if these people are discovering themselves, they are trying to grow into this thing on their own terms. I believe that one way or the other, continually doing these things together, they will discover what works for them. If their benchmark is not something that came from outside, pornography and sleeping around, if their benchmark are not these two things, then I believe that two people working together must find what works for them. If there is need to see a doctor, they will know.
Okay.
To correct one or two medical and clinical defects, if there is any. You understand? But I believe that they must, one way or the other, find what works for them. But if the benchmark, I repeat again, is something from the outside, pornography, and because maybe either of them or both of them slept around before finding one another. That's why, as a Christian, even if you were once, whatever it is, sleeping around and all that, your mind needs to be renewed.
Yeah, it's true.
There must be a renewal of the mind. So that you don't enter into marriage expecting the unexpected. You understand?
Yeah.
Having these wild fantasies of whatever. What a couple do in their bedroom doesn't concern me. You understand? But let's go there, bearing in mind that most of these wild fantasies are make believe. So that we don't. These are things acted to activate dopamine in your brain, and that is why people that watch porn will always keep going back to porn.
Exactly.
And then you see that most people that claim that their spouses do not satisfy them, check it. It is statistical. A good number of them consume porn.
But I've read a lot of articles, and I've seen a lot of people come up to say that porn helped their marriage. You understand that they didn't know their whereabouts and all those things, so they went. And I've even heard, I've been someone I trusted told me that part of what they recommended for them, Christian include, is that because when they brought the report of the man wasn't performing well and all of that, so the person in question now recommended pornography, and they had to go and consume it.
For me, there are doctors, I can't remember what they are called, that can give you advice on some of these things.
Okay.
You understand? I'm trying to remember what they're called. I can't get it now, but I know that there are doctors that can advise couples on this aspect of life. So pornography didn't help my own marriage. So that we are talking experience.
Yes.
It didn't help my own marriage. So
did you consume it?
Yes, at some point growing up.
Really?
Yes.
Addicted to it?
Is it addiction? Was it an addiction? Yes, you can call it an addiction as a younger person. But by God's grace, I outgrew it. You understand? I outgrew it.
Really?
Yes, it wasn't really a big struggle. It wasn't a big struggle,
How long did it take you to work out?
Let me say, as a young person that entered university, you come in contact with these things, and so throughout the days of university, it was there. And then yes, after university, it was there. As a new believer, it was there. But at that point, I knew that this is something that must be left behind. So I didn't really make it a big. I didn't actually make it out to be a big issue.
Okay.
But I knew it's something that must be stopped. So I prayed about it. Did I fast about it? I don't think I fasted about it. I constantly prayed about it. I constantly studied the word of God over it. And then, how did I even stop it? I can't even remember.
And you can't remember at what point it broke?
I can't remember.
Really?
I can't remember. It's just that I remember that many a time after prayers, long prayers, it becomes repulsive to me. Even though there are times a relapse may happen, but it becomes repulsive to me. And then as time progressed, the hunger to go and just look at naked women was no longer there.
Really?
So I think this is something that a good number of people pick up growing up, but for some people it becomes a giant. For some people it becomes a giant, while for some other people, one way or the other, they outgrow it.
When you mistakenly see porn now, does it stir anything in you?
No, it doesn't. I simply end it because there are sites where I download movies to watch sometimes. These people will bombard you with pornographic pictures. But what I do is to simply end it. You understand? And another thing, because I will also say this, as a married man, I don't see the need going to look at other women's nakedness too. That may also be part of the reason the thing doesn't stir anything in me anymore, because looking at another woman's nakedness sometimes feels like, I don't know, I might be wrong, feels like I'm cheating on my wife.
Okay.
You understand? It feels like I'm cheating on my wife. So it doesn't stir anything anymore in me, because I am deliberate and intentional about not cheating on my wife.
Wow.
Yes.
There's this thing you said that just caught my attention about outgrowing pornography.
Yes.
How do someone achieve that?
I do not know. But at a point, for me, I knew something that shouldn't be there. Because I began to read books about the dangers of pornography. How it activates dopamine in your brain. This almost almost the same amount or slightly higher than the one drugs secrete in your brain. So I knew that this has to stop. Then I also began to come in contact with how pornographic expectations destroy marriages. You are expecting what you see a trained porn star do on video from your wife. How would that work? So coming in contact with this knowledge, I already had the premeditated mindset that I must come out of this thing one way or the other. But one thing I did is that I didn't make it out to be a big problem.
Okay.
I'll be very honest. I didn't make it out to be a big problem. I didn't come out. I didn't go about seeking counseling, telling people that I'm struggling with pornography. I didn't do that. That works for some people. So I'm not trying to discountenance their experience. That works for some people, but I am this kind of person that I first belittle my problems so that I can solve them. I first belittle them so that I can solve them. So I didn't make it out to be a big thing. I consistently prayed about it. I can't, like I said before, I can't remember if I ever declared a fasting to stop pornography consumption, but I prayed about it. Then I consistently studied the Word of God, because there is this thing called replacement therapy, where you try to replace a particular picture or a particular thing with another thing. So, and now when I began to, and that's another reason I do not waste time in making my Christian identity known. How did that help me? Many a time you pick pornography and you be like, man of God, how will the people you are preaching to feel when they see this kind of when they see you consuming this kind of thing? So that kind of thought makes me ashamed of myself in such situations. And over time, it's not something that left overnight. You understand? It's not something that left overnight. And it's also sometimes even as a married man, you sometimes you see the flashes. Yes, sometimes so that I will not be claiming that it doesn't come back. Sometimes you see the flashes, but somewhere in your mind you're already I've outgrown these things. You understand? So you shrug it off, and maybe those flashes come because of like I said, there are sites where I download movies when I want to watch movies on my phone. So those sites, I don't know how they do it. I don't know if they're paid for it. They will just bombard you with a lot of and one thing, yes, for young people who are struggling with pornography, there is this 1 second test. Don't give pornography 1 second. Even if they bombard you with it, click the remove button immediately. The moment you want to see, you are roped in. The moment you want, let me see, what are they? That is it. That 1 second test, you are roped in. Have a premeditated mindset that once it pops up, I don't want to see it. because that curiosity is what they need. Let me even see. That's what they need. You can't unsee what you have seen, no matter how you try to deceive yourself.
And it has entered.
It has entered. You can't unsee what you have seen. So just instantly remove it and face whatever you've come to do. Finish it and go your way. So, and that is it. Then, if you know these sites that it is their policy to bombard people with pornographic scenes, if it is possible for you to avoid them, avoid them. But I won't mention this site so that it won't be as if I'm demarketing them. But because I don't know any other site where I can get movies that I like free of charge, so that's why I still go back to that site. It's not actually a pornographic site. It's meant to be a site where you download movies, but I don't know how it happens. I don't know if they have partnership with some of these pornographic outlets.
That's the way they make their money.
You see, so that's that for that.
Anyway, I think social media is even trying their best now, like all these social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram.
But there is a social media. I won't mention it too, so that so that I won't be demarketing them, But I see social media as the real world. There are areas in the real world where business-minded people go to. And you can go to such areas all your life without going to a place where prostitutes stay. But in the same city, there are places that prostitutes stay, and there are people that every day of their life they go there.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with social media. So I think what they are doing, which I think they are doing their best, is once you come in, they check your check your interest and then tweak the algorithm to reflect your interest. Okay. So if you come into this particular social media, I won't mention the name, but I like the social media. It's popular, if you are a crypto person, if what you consistently came to look for is crypto, chances become high that it is crypto related content that you will come across. If it is religious, matters that you are much more religious and maybe news to, chances become high too that is what the algorithm will always push towards you. But if you come in and you are looking for whatever it is that you want to lust after, chances become high too that is what they will supply you in great quantity. So so that is how it works on the social media now. A good number of them.
No, oh my God, I'm already blown out. Like, this session is so powerful, and I hope that the viewers out there, I hope you are learning a lot, right? If you want to really get connected to Dr. Williams, you come, let's talk terms, right? Okay, so those periods you had issues with your wife, right? How do you ask for forgiveness?
I just ask for forgiveness.
You kneel down?
No, I don't kneel down.
Have you ever knelt down for your wife before?
No, I've never done that.
You've never done that?
Yes, not out of ego,
yeah,
or because it has never been necessary.
Okay, even when you hurt her?
Yes, I just ask for forgiveness sincerely.
Okay.
Sincerely, some of these gestures are things she knows I am not given to, not because I am a man, but because it's not just my thing.
Okay.
Just like when I proposed to her, I didn't kneel down. You understand? We are both sitting down on the same seat, and I proposed to her.
Wow.
So it's not a gender thing, and I don't also expect her to kneel down to beg me. Has she ever knelt down to beg me before?
Really, when she has issues with you,
she just apologizes and tells me that she's sorry sincerely, and that's basically what I need. That's basically what I expect. That sincere apology, and then you see it in her behavior that she's really sorry.
Okay.
So I don't expect kneeling down. I believe kneeling down is for God. You understand? I believe people should kneel down for God, and that is why truly, I will have to put this out there. Before I kneel down for you, it must be many a time it is God related.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Maybe you're a pastor, and then when I kneel for you, in my heart I'm kneeling to God.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's the way I see it. It's not a gender-based thing for me. Yes.
And do you think that men and women that they approach commitment differently?
You see, I need you to operationalize this so that I will know what I'm answering. You know, how do you mean approaching commitment differently so that I will know?
Commitment to your partner now, the way you commit to your wife and
Okay.
the way your wife commits to you.
Okay, by my experience so far, I don't see any difference between the way I have committed and the way my wife has committed.
Okay.
You know, I think both of us came into this marriage holding nothing back. You know, there is no undue attachment to our families. You know, this one, be unduly. I'm not saying we are not attached to our family. We are still not attached. I'm not saying we are not attached to our family still, but this thing that some couple, you see the wife protecting her family, before her husband's family, and the husband protecting his family before the wife's family. I don't have such in my marriage.
But don't you think it's necessary?
Why?
I've heard the story
Okay.
of this particular man
Okay.
that opened up himself, like everything to the wife, including the family's world. Like even when the family, there's an issue going on among the siblings, this guy presents everything to the wife, right? And the wife was not really all that open to him as well.
Okay.
Right? And at some point, because the way this marriage happened is that the man had to from the woman's end, she's completely broke, right? So the man was the person that brought light to the family, took the girl, because the man was abroad, and then also took the girl outside the country. And so when the girl got outside the country, the girl, I didn't know how she did it anyway, but she never got pregnant for this man. So when she fully got access to everything, she filed for divorce. And outside there, you have to divide stuffs. And that was how this lady took almost everything. This is a strong story that is even related to me, right? So, and that's why many people are now the reason why I shared this is I needed to come in on that part of you being open, the way your family operates to your wife. Isn't that a risk?
Like I said before, why will you be married to someone you cannot trust?
People can change
to that extent. Okay, let me come from this angle.
Yeah.
The story you related, this man was abroad.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm trying to assume that maybe they spoke and got to know each other through the phone.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay. This man never met this woman before marrying her.
But before, okay. Yeah.
Yes, they can come around. Maybe when he comes back, go to ShopRite, go to Kilimanjaro, and then have some sumptuous meal. And then throughout the period of whatever it is that looked like courtship that they were doing, the man was always trying to impress this woman. He never saw this girl get angry. Never saw this girl get angry.
Yeah.
This girl never, for one day, I don't know, maybe came around to the house and then at least stayed with the mother. Because a woman knows a woman.
Yeah.
Woman knows a woman. When my wife came to our house, she stayed with my mother. I would tell her to go and stay with my mom. At the end, my mom will come and tell me something that can fill 3 long glutes. In those short periods of visit. And then there are some things she pointed out, and I was like, these things are not problems to me. You may not really like them, but they're not problems to me because they do not border on love, they do not border on faithfulness, they do not border on trust, they do not border on kindness. These are merely preferences you would have loved me to look out for, maybe for your own, what the picture you had in mind. But they don't bother on any of these things. So, and we had that understanding. So I will always preach, before you get committed to anybody, know them to an extent. Do they really love you? Or are you just a tool to escape from poverty?
Yeah.
Many men today are tools with which women escaped poverty.
It's true.
And vice versa, because it's not just a women thing. I know people that all they want to do is to escape poverty by marrying ladies from rich families. I know them.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So, does this person love you? And you can't know this through distant relationship. I'm sorry to say that. You can't know who loves a woman that loves you through distant relationships. How? Even if you are doing video call, she will be at her best behavior throughout the duration of that video call.
Exactly.
And she will say things she believes you want to hear. And then, even though nothing can be completely covered, because if that conversation stretches towards maybe an hour, 2 hours, you may begin to hear some things that will scream red flag. But because you are far, you might be second guessing what you heard. You understand? So that's why I'm not a very big fan of one, short courtship, and then long distance relationships. Courtship should at least be a year. So some people say 6 months. I don't know. Maybe it works for some people, but at least a year of proximity. You at least observe this person do some things. Observe her do her business. Observe her spend money. You can't see these things from afar. You can't see them.
Yeah.
So at the end, maybe her face is beautiful. She has the physical, whatever you are looking for. You rush and then marry someone you don't know. And then she comes in, and woe betide you if she has an agenda. Woe betide you if she has an agenda. You will be used as a tool to achieve that agenda. And then you are trying to, because one way or the other, the man is taught that he should be the provider. So you're always trying to prove a point to the woman that I am doing my bit. Not knowing that the woman you are showing that aspect of love sees what you are doing as an achievement of her own agenda. You understand? Yeah. So at the end, you are used, and then you are dumped. So I believe people should marry people at the location where they are. It may not be popular opinion, and that's why I don't really like talking about relationship, because my worldview on these things, make some people uncomfortable. I believe in marrying a place where you are and where you live. For me, if I had traveled abroad before I got married, I will marry from the country where I traveled to, and that is the truth. Telling my mother to now go to the village and look for one humble girl with good character for me, I won't try such. I should be able to know who I'm getting married to. Yes, I should be able to see her. I should be able to interact with her. Visit her family now. Stay with her mother. Listen to her mother's conversation, because it is she, up to maybe 80% of what she will bring into your family is what she learned from her mother.
Exactly.
So when people abroad say that they should look for wives for them here, I don't know why they do that. It maybe it works for them, but I've had a lot of bad stories coming from that.
Seriously. Like,
I've heard a lot of bad stories coming from that. So I don't know if it works. For me, I married a lady that I know. Wow. I married a lady that we attend the same fellowship, even though different units. I married a lady that I know, a lady that I see, a lady I could visit their house and have conversations with the parents. That's the kind of woman I married. So, and that is it for me. So for me, I have not experienced, different level of commitment. I am committed to my family, to my immediate family. Then my wife is committed to it.
Wow.
Yes. But the story you told, I've heard stories like that a lot, coming from this kind of arrangement too. So it means that something is fundamentally wrong with that arrangement.
Yes, it's true.
I hear people talk about in our this environment, Diobodoibo. And Diobodoibo sounds like an employment.
Yeah.
No, I've seen a lot.
It's true.
It sounds like an employment. It sounds like poverty alleviation program.
But it's true. It's true. Yes, now.
So that is it. So there is something fundamentally wrong with that arrangement. If it consistently presents this kind of problem you have talked about now.
Wow. What's your take on soulmate?
Okay, my take
Is
on
it a destiny something or daily decision?
It depends on what people call soulmate. I've never really given a thought to soulmate. I just know I love my wife, and that we will live together till either of us leave the earth. But I've never really given a thought to soulmate. I know I have a wife. I don't know if I have a soulmate. I know I have a wife, and the description that the Bible gives of a wife, it's actually okay for me. It's actually okay for me. So the truth is that I've never really given a thought
on that.
to soulmate and what it means.
Wow, your experience is already teaching me a whole lot. I feel like we are not ending this, right? But we have to see how we can tie it up, and then we are bringing you back, right?
Okay.
So viewers, what you're going to do for me is that in the comment section, just type Dr. Williams, we want you back on this podcast. The much we see it, that's what will enable us to drag him. So tag him, put his name in the comment section and say, Dr. Williams, we want you back, right? And then before we tie it up, I just have these two more questions so that we can tie up this session and then see how it goes. So what is this one question every couple should ask each other before getting married?
Okay. I don't think the question is one.
How many?
Many questions.
Many.
Don't stop asking questions.
Are there no key ones?
Nothing is key.
Really?
Yes. Ask questions. Whatever you want to know, ask it. Whatever will be a problem to you in the future, ask about it.
Wow.
Don't limit yourself to a box. If it's not this one, no. Anything. But a good number of the questions should border on health. When it comes to health, you talk about genotype, which should be common. Genotype, blood group. Do you have any underlying illness? You understand? Underlying diseases like diabetes, like HIV, like high blood pressure. These things should make it, because if you marry someone having these underlying illnesses, you should know that from day one you are going to be their first aid giver. So if I'm going into such a thing, I should know. I have the right to know.
Yes.
You shouldn't keep such a thing from me. If I decide that this is what I want to start early in my life to do, fine. But you should tell me first. You understand? Then, if you have children already, you should tell me.
It's true.
Yes. So that I will know if I'm ready to be the father to another man's child. So you should tell me. If you were married before, I should know too. I should know. And did that marriage end legally? So that I will not be with someone I call my wife one day and then another man shows up and begins to shout. You should tell me. Then I should understand your worldview on things that matter to me. If politics matters to me, I should get your worldview on it. If traveling matters to me, I should get your worldview on it, so that I can also gauge our compatibility. Are we moving towards the same direction? Even if we may not be, be moving towards the same direction in some of these things, are you teachable? Are you ready to learn? Like when I'm speaking about those things that matter to me, are you genuinely interested? You understand? Even though you may not know much about it, are you genuinely interested to listen and to learn? You understand? And let me put it out there. This is one place that I'm still having a little friction with my wife. But it's not causing a lot of problem. Why it's not actually causing a lot of problem is that I see her genuinely making effort to be interested in those things. You understand? Even though originally they are not. Some of them, like politics, it's not part of what but sometimes you see her come around with questions that sometimes when she asks some of those questions that I feel that she should know, I just be looking at her like this. You understand? But then you see the sincerity in the question, and then you must have to talk. Maybe after making a joke out of the whole thing, I still try to respond. So
you play with your wife?
Yes, a lot.
Really?
A lot. Like
pastors are romantic.
Like is it 2 days ago? Or was it yesterday? It was hide and seek.
Really?
Yes. It was hide and seek. I told her to go and get me water. Then I wouldn't say where I hid, so that if she, because I told her I'll go there and hide again. I'll go there. She looked for me throughout the house.
Really?
She couldn't find me. Then so that she would not know where I hid, I waited for her to move, and then I came out of that place. Often now she doesn't know where I hid, so I will still hide that place again.
Oh my God, that's really amazing. Wow. I really got a whole lot from this whole stuff. Now, for these 2 years you are married, would you say that marriage is something that aids, or is it a burden, or is it something that aids your purpose?
Marriage, the right marriage, aids your purpose. It pushes you. It brings out potentials you never knew were there, because at this time, as a man, you know that there are people counting on you, and there are people for whom you should set an example. And that is why wise men, you see them once they get married, there may be vices they might have been involved in, but you see them deliberately stop those vices. Because now they are an example to the woman in their lives and the children they bring into this world. So I believe my marriage has not in any way limited me. It has not in any way limited me. What it does actually is that it makes you more responsible, because as a younger person, there are days you can just wake up and decide not to go out, not to do anything, stay indoors. You can even decide not to eat a whole day and all that. But in the marriage relationship, even if you're not eating, you must provide for that they will eat. So knowing that, you become much more responsible. You are looking for ways to make sure that your family remains provided for. So it leaves you little room for laziness. It leaves you little room for laziness. But that's, I say, the right marriage, because when you are going through all this, you need that woman that you are doing this for and together with to, one, agree with you and give you peace. That's why I said the right marriage. But the wrong marriage, if you enter the wrong marriage, you are completely finished, and you are finished completely.
Full stop.
That is it. The kind of stress you enter into. Imagine now, currently, I have the peace at home But there are days you come back stressed. There are days you come back, you're angry, you don't know what's annoying you. You understand? But the house is just like a place where you can go and then you can relax. But imagine such days come for you and then your own house again is hellfire. Imagine what that kind of thing consistently will do to your lifespan. So that's why I say the right kind of marriage, if you marry rightly, it helps you. It gives you peace. Your wife should be the kind of person which I have seen in my own marriage, that when you are venting, she doesn't see it as an attack. She knows that you are stressed. She knows something is wrong. But she, just like my wife, my wife will consistently keep reminding me, I'm not the cause of your problem now. You understand? But she doesn't feel attacked. Just like some people will misinterpret it. You understand? And then sometimes when she's venting too, if I can't bear it, because maybe I'm having my own stress too, if I can't bear it, I'll quietly leave that place and go and stay alone in another room to avoid problem. Because I have to also understand that she's stressed, she's not happy at that point, and I shouldn't feel attacked, no matter what it is she is doing at that point. So my marriage has not limited me in any way. It has actually helped me, it has actually pushed me to be more responsible, because there are people counting on me now.
Wow. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate this session.
You're welcome.
And there are still other things on our table, but we want to make it to come in another episode.
Okay.
Areas like breakup, the criteria for choosing your spouse. We didn't talk about that today. And I believe that there are still other questions that is coming from the audience as well. I would encourage you as well to put down your questions, right? Put it down in the comment section, so that in our next episode we can compile those questions as well and put together what we have here, and trust that Dr. Williams would attend to it. So Dr. Williams, I'm so excited. It's really an honor. Like, anytime I come in contact with you, it's just so much wisdom, right? I'm always blessed, I'm always inspired, and then I'm always challenged. There was a time I visited and you shared certain things regarding relationship that really changed my perspective that period, and it has really helped me. Don't worry, after I will send my wedding invite.
I'm actually expecting it. I saw your AI wedding online. I saw your AI wedding online. It's actually funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's expected actually.
Yeah, God will do it for us when it's time. But there are certain things you shared with me regarding I could have made a lot of mistakes on that angle. One that could actually destroy what someone has already built for a very long time. So, and I really appreciate you, the wisdom, the insights, how you give them, how you have, you have really mentored me for, it's not today now.
Yes, I understand.
And
Thank
I want to also use this opportunity to remind you that you are the first person that dedicated this space for us, right?
Thank God.
LTE came to place. So you have really been of a great support, great encouragement, and I and my team, we don't take that for granted. So thank you so much for making our time to be on our podcast today.
You're welcome.
And we hope to still have you again and again.
Thank
And
you
to the
very
viewers, I know you have packed a lot of value. Do well to share this video to as many as possible. Just share. You might be actually saving a soul when you share this particular video. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so that you know when Dr. Williams is coming back to the show again. Thank you for staying to this point. We'll see you in our next episode. Bye.